Bora, malta.
Okay, so I guess we're live. Hi everyone, I hope you are having a fantastic day. I want to welcome you all to the first YouTube Masterclass from High Interactive, one of many live events we have planned for you. And today we have a lot to talk about. We are going to talk about creating an app template for OutSystems. But firstly, let's talk about how this event will occur, okay? Firstly, we are going to talk about High Interactive whilst introducing app templates and providing a demo for it. And finally, we have reserved a Q&A part in which we are going to answer to all of your questions. So if you have questions now, just drop them in the chat box. We are going to answer them at the end of the event for sure. Okay, and so let's talk about us, High Interactive. If you have attended to previous events, you will know that our main goal is to help businesses get the best digital experiences they can get for their businesses. And of course, we do that by delivering beautiful applications, designing amazing user experiences, whilst promoting scalability, consistency, and maintenance for the OutSystems platform. As you can see on your screen, you have a little timeline of some of our work with OutSystems. And speaking about OutSystems, we work them with many years now. And being now a certified delivery partner, our main focus with this partnership is front-end development, okay? And speaking about our work, the WOW experience, okay. The WOW experience, as you can see on your screen, is some topics that you have here that combined together can take every digital project to the next level, or the WOW level, as we like to call it at High Interactive. You have UX research, the UI design, UI architecture, the development part, which plays a very big role in this WOW experience, and we are giving our first steps into developing full solutions, okay? And also the front-end UX design part, without forgetting the quality part, which also plays a very big role in these WOW experiences. But to take every project to the next level, we have some common actions or common deliverables we apply in every project we're in, such as wireframing. Wireframing is one of the initial steps in the UX phase of our processes, and it's the first thing you can really see, okay? You have UI design. This is where we conceive the prototype for the user interface design. And after this, magic starts to happen. And magic starts to happen like with themes and documentation. This is where we start producing the library for developers to work on, okay? And here you will have it all for producing the WOW experience, okay? Then you have the assessment report, which is a very important document in which we describe the state of the art of our client's application. And then UI architecture, and this is one of our main goals to success, I must say. And almost ending the UI components, and we deliver them in two separate ways. The OutSystems UI components, fully customizable, and the custom components. And finally, the design system. This is when you have more than one type of communication, you should have a design system. A design system is a single place where you can manage and have available for the different stakeholders all these multiple themes and UI assets. And with that said, I would like David to pass to the next slide, okay? We have a poll for you. If you can scan this poll, we want to know your level of app building skills, okay? If you have or have not already built an app template, so we can know your level and take this presentation through. And with that being said, let me pass the ball to David and Pedro to take on this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, João. Thank you.
Very well said.
So, welcome everyone.
Hello.
Today we will talk about app templates for OutSystems. My name is David Marques. I'm a team lead at my amazing team, front end. And here with me, I asked my team members. In this case, Pedro will help me because I'm not a full-time developer anymore. So Pedro, you want to say something?
Yeah, hello everybody. Thank you for being here. I was an active front-end developer until 1 year from today, and in the meanwhile, I'm more like a tech lead than a front-end developer. But yeah.
Okay, let me say something. In your right top of screen, you have the QR code. And please answer. We will share with you the results in a few slides after. Only to know if you already know what is app template or if you already tried, as João said. So let me say another thing. We are not the source of truth, and what we'll share is based on our process at Interactive. Okay, we have many ways to do it. This is the process that we believe it's the best for us, okay, and for our clients.
Yeah, basically, what we want to share with you is it was the knowledge that we have. It's based on all the projects that we've been participating throughout the last years, and we believe that the way to build and use an app template is the best way. Because we work with a lot of clients, and we learn from them, and we want to share that information with you in the end. Yeah.
So if you miss something, don't worry about that, because we'll share an article about this process with all details. So in this masterclass, we'll resume what we have on our article. So don't be worried. We'll try to explain the key points, but don't be worried about that, okay?
Yeah.
So what is the app template? Yes.
Also, the video, this live video will be available for you to watch again later if you want to share with your colleagues.
Yes. It's will available on YouTube.
Yeah.
So what is an app template? For me, app templates, it's one of the best features, OutSystems features in the platform, because give you an opportunity for guys that are trying the first experience and are junior developers. They can implement an application on top of something. So an app template, it's a starter app with pre-configuration assets that enable your developers that have access to your environments start something on top of something already configured with login, etc. Pedro, do you want to add something?
Basically, it's an accelerator when we need to start building an app from scratch, and we don't want to have all to spend all the initial time with initial configurations and team appliance and all of those initial configurations.
Exactly. The repeated tasks is needed for all applications. So an app template is not a theme. We saw this many times. We already saw this on official documentation at OutSystems. But pay attention, are related, but it's not the same, okay? Themes and templates are connected because typically when you have a new theme, you create a template for this theme to enable your developers creating new apps based on a pre-configuration with your theme, okay? The main goal is that the template cannot have the app cannot have reference to your templates, but can have to your theme. We will explain how, but pay attention on that. Theme is not a template, okay? Template is an accelerator for your new apps.
Yes.
So theme it doesn't go to production. Follow the same idea. Typically, use templates to create new apps. So it's something that's a pre-configuration module that enables you start on top of something already pre-configured. So it doesn't go to production or quality environments. You don't create new apps typically, I don't know, but in another servers, you create things on your development environment. This happens because we saw this many times, templates on production, because your app have references to an app template, because sometimes we do this mistake confusing, made a confusion with themes and templates. Okay. So this is for local development. Okay. Don't forget that what we are doing is help another developers to accelerate the process of developing software. So try to follow the familiar code conventions. I don't agree with many things that OutSystems delivery. Okay, I share this, but I agree. I believe that following this type of code conventions that the community already knows, the community already follow, it's easier for new developers understand what you are delivering and understand how to use it. Okay. Avoiding dependencies. Okay, your template needs less as possible dependencies for another modules, because when you start a new app based on these templates, the dependencies still exist. So for new apps, you don't need the multiple dependencies. Okay, and reduce the expertise needs. Recall when you start developing an application with OutSystems. So everything's already implemented, and you only need to get an entity and do a screen to manage this entity, create a form, because login is already implemented, layout is already configured, theme it's already configured, so menu it's already configured. It's done on template, okay, on app template. So think about the experience for the guys that will use your assets, in this case, your app template.
Yeah.
Okay, only to have a visual idea, list of templates are available when you choose a create new app from the scratch on your platform, in your environment. And by default, typically, you have three types of templates: the reactive web app, the tablet app, and also the phone app. This is the base templates that typically exist in your environments, okay? And also you can have your custom templates. This is what we'll talk about today. So I'll add new custom templates with pre-configured assets, themes, and other configurations, okay?
Yeah, I don't know if you didn't mention on purpose, David, but you can also create templates for traditional web.
Yes.
But since they are not, the traditional web is not promoted by OutSystems.
Yeah, it's not.
They remove the option from the first row of options, but you can create app templates for traditional web if you want.
You can create. I think the only way today is install a template that exists on the Forge and follow this template. Okay, I don't know if you have another way to do it. Okay, if you don't have, for example, traditional apps on your environment, you need to have one. I think only you need one in your environment. So let's check the results. I hope you answer. If not,
you'll be punished.
So try to have an idea. So do you know what an app template is? Okay, we have already an idea. More than 50% already knows what is an app template for OutSystems. And another question is, have you ever built an app template? Okay, if you already tried, only 30% already tried. Typically, in the community, I think it's less, okay? Obviously, for us, we create a lot templates. It's part of our work, but typically the local developers don't know how to create, what is already listed about that, but it's not the same because it's a mistake between themes and templates. So we know that this is a subject that it's not clarified in community, okay? Okay, let's go. Let's create a template that puts our hands in code. So, okay, let me follow my script. First, what we need to do is create a template based on something that already exists. OutSystems UI delivery on Forge. An app template that you can install and follow and clone and use it to change and configure, give the configurations that you need to your team, okay? So in this case, you install OutSystems UI reactive style guide templates. I already have here. What I will do is clone the module that exists and that they share with us, okay? So let's clone the module. We will receive this type of message warnings when you have modules that made part of the system. Okay, don't be worried. So in this case, what we need to do is rename. Rename the existing clone first. Pay attention because it's a common mistake. We need to rename the cloned module, not the original. So in this case, what we need to do is rename the module. In this case, I will call you B2C theme. Let me say two things. We need the first expression template underscore in your name because this is the way how the platform knows this is a template that can be cloned by the system, okay?
And by using the template and the template underscore prefix, you basically are saying that this module is going to appear on that list that we showed before when you create a new application.
Yes. So typically we organize our themes in our templates, obviously, in three types of communications, B2C, B2E, and B2B. So internal and external applications this way. So this is how I call it B2C theme, okay? And we typically use theme because when you create new application, you want to choose a theme. But the template feature, it's the way to give developer this type of the feature, okay? So I set a description. This description will appear on a list to choose the template. And also I will change an icon. I will set an icon that I'll have here. And that's it. Now I have a template on my environment available to everyone, every developer that wants to create a new application can choose these templates. I will show you how. So after publish, what happened is the module will be detected by our system, our platform. I will choose new application from the scratch, and now we have here our templates available, okay? If I choose this template, what happens? The system clone my templates and give me the module to be renamed, and I can use the module as we deliver, okay? So let me move, because when we publish something outside of the applications, typically the template comes from independent modules. What we do typically is create an application associated to theme preview documentation or lifestyle guides. Probably you already listened. Let me create a new application. In this case, B2C theme lifestyle guides. In this case, we call it typically preview. It's only to be understandable. So I will create an application. This application, it's only for documentation. Pay attention. When you move your module template to another app, this app cannot go to production, okay? So let me go to independent module, and it will be easy. and move it to our lifestyle guide in this case.
Yes, usually the applications that you will end up having, like lifestyle guides, are those type of applications are usually, I would say, 99% of times only in development environments. Yeah.
So after that, I already changed the icon. It's only to have a similar image. So what we need to do now we already have an app template work, okay? But my app template, it's have the configurations from the original template. So for example, are connected to a style guide theme that came from the application that I installed from the Forge, and have many layouts. So what we'll do is give configurations to our templates connected with our theme features. So the first thing that we need to do is remove this style guide and style guide theme and replace to our style guide B2C theme, okay? That already are implemented here, okay? Don't be worried. In the future, we'll share how to create a theme, okay? But for now, we'll be focused on templates. So what I need to do, in this case, add references to our theme. Please, guys, in this case, Pedro, if I do something wrong, please advise me, correct me. Apply. So I reference everything because I know that I will need everything, okay? So what I need to do, find usage to our theme, replace it to user one time, replace to our B2C theme, delete, okay? And now my theme app already are using my B2C theme, okay? Another thing, let me change the name for my app theme. Don't forget this experience. What we are seeing will be the base to another future apps. So in the future, if I create a new app, this is the core base that appears to my new app, okay? So another thing, pay attention on it. Typically, we have logo in your applications. This is a good example. And in this example on base original template, we have logo here. This means that we have logo on our application. When I create a new application, the logo, it came from my original module. If I want to change the logo, and I already have 100 applications created with these templates, I need to go to all applications and change the image. What we propose, this is our base process. It's isolate everything on a theme and move all reused assets between applications on a theme. Because in the future, if you want to change it, it's easier because you only need to change one image, avoiding these multiple assets. Okay, but this need to be managed careful because sometimes we need to left the assets here. Okay, but pay attention. It will be used between the same image between different applications.
Yeah.
We promote centralize those assets. So find usage, replace the logo to our logo. It's the same in this case. Find usage, replace the user image to our user image, and remove. Okay. And now I can fix the name to original name. So let me delete this OutSystems charts. It's not needed for now. And let me check if the original templates have another things. It's not, okay, it's okay. So at this moment, what we already have, it's an application with OutSystems layouts, OutSystems UI layouts, but with our theme. So now we can apply styles to our apps in a single module in your theme centralized, okay? So let me do another thing. We are seeing many layouts here. What we propose, because we need OutSystems deliver many different experience. In our case, we only need a top menu. Okay, so what I'll do is remove the other layouts. Okay, so I need to simplify the idea, and also
and basically we don't want to have unnecessary assets inside the modules, because the modules will be harder to maintain and will be heavier. So we it's a good practice to only have what we need or what we are going to need. In the future, if we need something else, we can always add extra assets and start using them.
Yes. Let me open my pre-built assets that I left here, because we don't have time to show everything on detail, but I can show you the final result. Okay. So, in terms of layouts, what we call layouts, typical is something isolated that you can use in all screens. Okay. So what we'll do is isolate everything that can be isolated in terms of UI and move it to a team. So let me, in the first moment, move my layouts, move my layout to common, because in our approach we don't have layouts or UI layouts in the templates. Will be on the team. But as you understand, this layout will be used between screens. So typically exists something on layout that are repeated. For example, the menu, the user info, the logo, the footer will be the same. So, and we don't need configure the menu and the login info, those assets in different screens. So what we'll do in the first moment, don't be worried about that, but I will remove everything that exists on my layout top menu. Why? Because in this case, I already have a layout with these features, with this HTML structure, okay? That already are created. So I will reference my layout here, okay? And as you can see, for my experience, it's easier to configure application title, menu, user info, breadcrumbs, title, actions, menu. So what we did was isolated everything, all HTML structures inside our UI component. So following the UI that OutSystems UI already have. Okay, yep. This is the idea. If sometimes we saw an application this type of classes, if for us it means that something are wrong. Why? Because this class is not documented. You cannot find anything about this in any documentation. And also, one of the approach is someone changed this HTML structure, means that all applications will be applied with those HTML structure changes. Mm-hmm. So in specific application, I will change it. It's not following the rules from the other application, so it doesn't match. If I want to change anything from my team, I probably need to make fixes in each application. So try to reduce this type of repeated codes and move it to your theme. So isolating UI, don't left HTML or classes that are not utilities to your developers. Okay. So as you can see, only to show in detail, we have application title, menu, breadcrumbs, main content, footer in our structure. So we have placeholders to deliver the business logic. But from our side and from developer side, in the application, we only have access to placeholders. So let's configure our layout top menu that works as a wrapper. So what we'll do is we can apply changes here, and this layout will be used between the screens. But if I want to change something, I only need to go inside my layout, change something, and will be applied to all screens that are using this layout. Okay, probably 90% of screens. So in this case, application title, I already have an example. Let me share another thing. Typically, we left as examples in our placeholders. Okay, it's a good practice. Menu, we don't have menu. Let me add menu here. User info. I already have the rules to the user info. Okay, need probably here. Let me do this. So it's not important for now because I will show you the final code. So this type of placeholders are common between screens. Will be the same, right? But the others not. Footer probably, but breadcrumbs, title, actions, and main content. And now we have a pane here. What we need to do, duplicate the placeholders. Because, for example, if I go create a new screen, what will happen that I can't change. Don't be worried about that. I can't change everything in my screen because I don't have placeholders. My layout of menu don't have placeholders. Only my original layout. So my wrapper don't have. Okay, you understand that, right? So what we need to do is something like duplicate, create placeholders inside placeholders. Okay, breadcrumbs. Okay, and title, and that's it. Okay, so let me show you, for example, for a main content, it's easier to understand. Main content. Okay, and now I can go to my screen. And now I can add content, obviously. Okay, don't be worried about that, but try to isolate part of, create a wrapper with your custom layout inside, because your custom layout inside and custom layout are centralized. If you need to change something, you can apply these changes in your theme. You don't need to go to the applications. Okay. Yep. So. Another important thing, Pedro, I don't know if you want to say something.
Yeah, basically it's what you've been saying here. We are trying to reduce the effort for developers to, in the lifetime of an application, where sometimes we need to create or add new features to our applications, and all of that, sometimes we need to add more things to the layout. Yes. Or that are things that are common to all the pages. Mm-hmm. And if we use this technique of creating a layout wrapper, okay, what David created is not the layout by itself, it's a wrapper. We are reducing the time that developers need to spend when changing things or developing new things in the application, because we know sometimes application has hundreds of pages, and this way it's very fast and very easy to apply changes, because everything will be applied to all pages.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Pedro. So another thing, as you can see, this is the final version of template. We don't have time to do everything, but as you can see, we already fill all placeholders and create another placeholders for content that will be changed between screens. Probably footer not, but I had it. So as you can see, exists an exception here. I can change here my application title because we call it's not a placeholder for the screen. I can change here. If I want to change my logo, I can change only in my layout wrapper. Okay, but for menu, we have an issue, a concern to ensure that scaffolding work. I will share what is scaffolding, but it's when you saw some stars appearing and everything created automatically. This is called scaffolding. In the past in IntelliWarp. So scaffolding, it's the way that working with templates, app templates, give you a chance to accelerate your work. Probably you already tested drag and drop an entity to do a CRUD, a CRUD. You can drag, for example, an entity to your common or flow, another flow, and your list screen and your form detail screen will be created automatically based on your entity. So this is CRUD, scaffolding in this case, sorry. But to maintain your working automatically menu, so the scaffolding get links in your menu when you drag and drop screens or entities and create this connection, we need to have, until now we don't know another way to do it, a menu block, okay? And the menu block needs to have a page links. Everything that you can have from menu block, from original templates, we'll remove and isolate. So I move this structure to our original layout, as you can see here, for example, nav, okay, and only give placeholder for menu, okay. In this case, menu, okay, that will add on our placeholder. But you need left this container with page links name here to scaffolding detect the approach, okay. So in this way, what you can do, menu, I already have menu here, and what I did was left the web block here, but the web block I use it for two things: isolate complex code and repeated code. In this case, it's not complex and also not repeated, but we need to have this menu. Comparing with, for example, the original template, we delete application tile, so we delete menu icon, we delete user info, because this structure, it's already on original layout in the B2C team. Yes, Pedro, please.
No, I was going to say exactly that.
Okay. So, what I'm missing, let me check my notes. Okay, another thing. We are creating a wrapper, we call a wrapper here. Check if your layout, your theme have this wrapper, assign it. What this means, when you create new screens, we need your theme that are set in your base module or in your flows, because you can set themes here. Will have automatically your layout with this feature in your screen, okay, in core of your screen, as you can see, okay. Okay, let me show here. It's a good example. Okay, this happens because the layout are set it here, okay, and I'm using this theme. So another thing for login. As you can see, we are using a login layout that came from our original theme, our custom theme. It's important to know because we only use one time this layout, typically, okay? So we don't need to repeat it. And typically we don't have an extra information that need to be loaded. As you can see, in this case, for layout wrapper, we need to create a wrapper because we have parameters, we have get user info, and another information that need to be isolated in the wrapper to use our structure inside. In this case, for layout screen, it's easier. It's not so complex. You can use the layout as in the past we did with OutSystems. Okay, so use directly layout and fill the placeholders. Okay. Let me say something. We have a warning here connected with access form. As you can see, we hide the form inside our layout. Developers can access to the form for validations. Pay attention on this. This is not the best approach. Typically, our team, what our team does, it's connected with create a structure for the form and use the blank layout. So you can do other ways. With this approach, probably you'll see a warning a warning for in this case we have base. So let me sorry, it's Yes. When you set it's not default for the button, so you need to press the enter key to send the form. Platform have this feature, but this is why the platform don't detect the form, but still working. Okay, it's only in design mode. And also, obviously, for our error screen, we call it error screen because typically we saw invalid permissions, but we use this screen for another type of errors. Okay, so for error screen, use the blank layout that came from our theme, because we need to manage the styles. Okay.
Yeah.
So I already talked about it. So it's fast. I know that I am sharing a lot of information, but you have time to check our article in detail.
Let me just add a quick note. You mentioned CRUD while drag and drop an entity to a flow, but it's funny that OutSystems don't give us a complete CRUD, because if you can recall, when OutSystems create the page where you can edit or create a new entity, OutSystems don't add the delete button. So it's not entirely CRUD.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
But the traditional have? No?
I believe in traditional they have, yeah, probably in traditional, but in practice they don't.
And also the
delete button. Sorry.
And also the read screen. We don't have the read screen. We need the form to read. This is not a good approach.
Yeah.
But the idea is create screens to manage information. Okay. So to resume, I talked about the home screen. Okay. One tip. Typically, we don't saw this screen here in the base templates, but I suggest add the home screen to when you start an application. You already have a screen, and also an item on menu. We already can know how it works. So it's a good practice to add your first screen in your app. Okay, in your template app. So another thing, arrow screen, home screen. Okay. In the end, don't forget to remove everything that you don't need. For example, let me go here. What I don't need here, I already remove everything. Okay, but don't forget to removing things that you don't need. Okay, I know the approach of OutSystems to delivering a template, it's show what you already have to developer. For example, you have many layouts, but in your case, you only need one or two. Okay, remove the others. Okay, and another thing, it's related with reference. Okay, we know why OutSystems left behind this amount of references. Okay, we understand. It's because when you are a beginner, when you are doing the first steps, if you don't see it, you don't use it. Okay. But this have a concern, because the way how OutSystems manage the dependencies, it's clone the folders to your application in your server. So when you deploy the application to another environment, we'll clone everything. Okay, pay attention on that. Okay, dependencies. If you don't need the dependencies, you can remove it, but it's a good practice, but we understand why we typically left the dependencies on templates. But in my opinion, typically the developers also forget to remove dependencies. So in my case, typically I remove it. But some team members of our team suggest left the dependencies, because for new developers it's easier, okay, to understand and to know and learn many things with dependencies.
Yeah. And
that's it. So I think I already finished the process to create a template. Obviously, it's highlights. Let me say something about the quality assurance. How we do the quality assurance? It's important because don't forget that this template, these assets, will be the base to your future apps. Okay, so I can make a mistake in a single app, but if I made a mistake here, probably I will make a mistake for all future apps, 100, 200. Okay, pay attention on that. Validate dependencies. Okay, one thing that we typically do to validate dependencies, it's connected with, let me check, these dependencies. Okay, so as you can see, I didn't publish, but this application cannot be here, and this application cannot be here. Let me check in my other app here, Masterclass. Okay, this is a good approach. What is my dependencies? B2C theme. Okay, my template represents my B2C theme, and also OutSystems UI, because I'm using some UI components from OutSystems UI in my base. Typically, what we saw here, it's dependencies for another type of applications. Pay attention on that, okay? Because this means that all future apps will have these dependencies, okay? Another good way is create an application. So what we can do is create an application based on our app. I will use this because it's already finished. Okay, my test. And what we need to check. So this is the experience that developers will have with our assets, in this case, with our templates. So this is my first experience, okay? I already have a screen, a home menu, okay? So in this case, what we need to do, in my perspective, test scaffolding, because for beginners, scaffolding is a good tool to start. So I want to create, for example, a screen detail and list and detail for an entity. In this case, sample data. Okay. Name. I already have an entity. I drag to my flow. In this case, to my main flow, and the expectations will be create two screens. Okay. To create two screens. I already have these screens. I open, for example, the list. Okay, we have an error here. I use it my templates. What happened here? Layout. Okay, we have.
You need to. You probably forgot to change the default.
Here.
The default layout.
I think I created with another. Now it's here, layout wrapper. I think when I move before, but okay. Scaffolding, it's working. It's not an issue. Scaffolding, it's working. As you can see, H1, the content it's already done. And let's test the menu. For example, if you want to test the menu, if scaffolding are working, you only need to drag the page into inside to on top of your menu block, and you need to see this type of star. And when you left, the home screen will be available. In this case, it's not a good approach. The other, okay. So it's working, and also check. Okay, it's here, and we have errors. I think it's related with the menu. I don't know why exactly, because I tested it before. Something related with the menu, because the systems are using my original layout. I don't need to use it. I need to use the others. It's not a problem. If you want to check in detail, we have all detailed steps on our article. So, and don't forget, pay attention with Architecture Dashboard. It's a good tool to ensure that what you are doing, it's following the code conventions and the best practice to OutSystems, and ensure that for your future developments, everything will be scalable. Okay, because the idea of Architecture Dashboard is not saying that you are doing the wrong way. It's ensure that in the future you don't have many issues or many dots or constraints to scale your application, to add features, to change your application. Okay, this is the idea of Architecture Dashboard. Pay attention, if possible, validate in Architecture Dashboard. So let's back here to resume my case. Okay, my presentation. Where is my presentation? Sorry, guys, it's here. So, okay, in resume, the app template is a core base to start new apps. Don't forget. So everything that we'll do on app templates, if not working, as you can see, we have an issue here. So it means that for all future apps, we have concerns. So pay attention on that. Validate your architecture dashboard. It means that if you'll create a new application based in your template, the application already follows the architecture dashboard. Think about the experience for developers. Need to be easier. They don't need to know how to change the menu. They don't need to know how to change the layout, user info. Leave everything work and with scaffolding for them. Okay. Think about your first experience with OutSystems. Okay. Ensure that flows and folders are closed. It's a good practice, and leave the home screen selected. Okay, it's a good practice because when someone that are starting a new application want to start from home screen or see only on the home screen the correct flow. Be cautious with the preview in design mode. Typically, we have design mode and runtime mode. In this case, we need to pay attention for the best experience. Mm-hmm. We need to have similar UI visual when you are seeing on the browser or when you are seeing on your Service Studio. It's impossible to be 100% equal, but need to be similar. Because when you are developing, you are familiar with the user experience navigation. So if you are a user, you understand. If you are a developer, need to understand also. Okay.
Yeah. Usually, the problems with these kind of situations, that we need to make sure that the developers can click on a placeholder to add content or things like that. Usually, these problems came up when we have components, for example, with layouts that are with layers that are over the page, and a lot of times we forgot to remove the layer when we are inside OutSystems platform, and we can use the prefix help me. The prefix for the CSS.
Service Studio preview. Service Studio before the CSS
prefix. Yes.
Yes.
And this problem occurs a lot of times when we have components or layout placeholders that in the end will be over the page, and sometimes we forgot to remove them or to change the display to not be absolute, and yes, change the absolute to relative, things like that. Yeah.
Another case. And also you can use if condition to hide some content on preview. It's true. So pay attention on preview. It's important. It's important for someone that have experience. Typically, it's not so important, but for someone that are a beginner, it's important. Okay. Be cautious with dependencies. I already talked about that. Pay attention. Dependencies it's a constraint for the future, and everything that was shared isn't the unique solution to do it. As you saw, we need some workarounds to do it, and depends also obviously on your needs. Okay, typically you create a template because you already have a need. Type of users, type of applications, already have design and theme. So templates typically answer a group of applications that have this type of features. For example, if you have your own login in your company, so you can have a customized login on your templates, and whole application will be using this customized login. And then another features. It's not only related with UI. Obviously, the UI it's a start point, but you can have another type of features in terms of business logic to your templates. Okay, to ensure that future apps have this type of features. Okay, and that's it. I don't know, Pedro, if you want to say something.
I think.
Okay.
You said
about this topic. We are available to share with you in a meeting. Send us an email, contact us. We can do a training. Okay, please. We are available to share with you our process. Okay.
Yeah.
In this case, if someone have some thoughts, some questions.
Okay, David. Right now, I have 3 questions. 2 from our page, in which 2 persons gave their question prior to this masterclass.
Okay.
And I will start by them. Okay.
Okay.
I have a question here from Mark, and he says, "Why do we need to have a theme inside the template instead of using directly the one from our theme module?"
A theme. Okay, I don't know exactly the questions, but let me show you if we are talking about why we need this theme instead using directly this theme. I believe this is
I guess that's it.
Yeah. I don't know exactly if this question, if this is the answer, because the question, because can have. I will share in the next the other possibility. So it's because in this case, OutSystems got the feature a few years ago. As you can see, we have layout here. In the past, we have layout, menu, application title, user info, and the way our OutSystems create new screens was based on placeholders. As you can see, when you create a new screen, in this case, OutSystems will deliver the content on made content and title. In the past, was headed also in the menu, in the application title. So all screens have placeholders to application title and menu and user info. Okay, today we don't have, so we need to manage everything in a wrapper. Okay, as you can see, this is a wrapper. We need to manage everything inside of it. Everything that it's not added automatically by OutSystems when you create a new screen. So as you can see, application title. This is the reason, layout wrapper, why we have a theme here, because we need to set the layout that will be added automatically when you use a theme. For example, let me know, instead of this B2C theme, if I create, let me show you. For example, if I set here a B2C theme, what happened when I create a new screen? Okay, the system will create, in this case, let me, B2C theme. My B2C theme don't have layout. Sorry, I need to add this in the other. But what will happen in this case will be our layouts from B2C theme will be added here. So
instead of the wrapper.
Exactly. Because we have a layout in our application, a customized layout in our application, and to enable the scaffolding heads automatic layouts inside the screen, we need to have a theme. It's the theme that set each layout we want to to add in your screens automatically. So we need a theme to set to do it. Okay. I don't know if someone have another justification, but for us it's a needs. Okay, because we have a layout wrapper. The other thing, it's because when you create an application from the scratch, if you don't need to use this type of approach, it's not so common. yes, you don't need a theme. If you don't have a layout in your application, you don't need a theme in your application, okay?
Okay, next up, we have another question here from Anna, and she says, why do we need to have one layout on the template wrapping the one from the theme?
Yep.
I don't know, Pet, if you understand.
I don't know, probably David already answered that question by saying, well, in fact, the question was answered by before. So
Okay.
yeah, and it's the same thing. The same thing again. We want to the developers to already, when they create a new page, when they create the new page, they already have in place all the elements, all the assets that are repeated throughout the entire application.
Exactly.
So this is the main reason. It's basically an acceleration, and the other reason is if we need to change something that we want to affect all the pages, and we all know that applications can have hundreds of pages. If we change we need to only change the layout wrapper, and all the pages will be affected by the one single change.
Yeah, let me check, let me confirm. As you can see, in this case, in the home screen, we have layout wrapper, and we only have those placeholders, okay? Breadcrumbs, title, actions, but I can see menu here. If I want to change menu, I go inside this layout and change it, and all screens that are using this layout will be affected. The other way, I'm using directly the customized layout from our theme, but I have here the placeholders, user info, application title, menu. If I want to change application title, I need to go to all screens because this is not isolated. Okay, that's why we use a layout wrapper on top of our customized layout from our B2C team.
Yeah. Well, okay. It's easier for the developers to see only 4 or 5 placeholders instead of seeing 8, 9. This is
a bit confusing because if exists someone that is not doing this type of approach in your common development process, it's confusing. Between our team, we are around 15 and we have a lot of discuss about it.
Okay, so we have a final question here from Marcio, and he says, what kind of elements usually are on template and what needs to be there?
Do you want to answer, Pedro?
Can you repeat the question, please?
He asks, what kind of elements usually is on template and what needs to be there on the template, I guess?
Well, as David said, usually on the template, we need basically our wrapper, the menu, and also because probably 100% of all the applications use it, we need the login screen and the error screen. Yes. So this is, and the reason is simple because, as I said, almost 100% of applications has these kind of assets. Obviously, if we were asked to deliver a template to a client with specific needs, things that will be common to the layout, let's say this way, probably they are going to be also in the common flow of the template, okay? Because they are not considered components or patterns. They are more things like, for me, are things like widgets or something like that. Mm-hmm. Because they don't need to be documented in the lifestyle guide. Okay, like I don't need to specifically document the menu block in a lifestyle guide. Okay, and these are the main reasons. Yes, and obviously the direct URL that we are seeing there is something that is widely used. And yeah, I don't know, David, do you want to
I think
add something?
okay, can be everything, but think about what we need to start an application, what it's common to do and when you start an application from the scratch. Okay, what will be the repeated tasks? Okay, typically I create a login for application, so I need a login in my templates. Typically I have an error screen. I need an error screen in my templates. Also, I have needs an header to navigate and display the logo and user info. Okay, I need a template with this. So think about what is the common task that we do between the applications when you're starting new application and deliver those features in your app templates. But another thing that is common, it's customize it for your company. If your company have a login integration, if your company have a system security, if your company use the storage, pay attention that you can have many features on your templates already pre-configured to start new applications. Okay, but typically it's related with the UI, login, some screens. Okay, it's not so many complex, but it's hard to do it. Okay. So, many more questions? Not?
We have drained them all.
Okay. So, if you have some dots.
Sorry. It appears that someone have asked something. Is Stefan? He says, where do I see which template is used by an application?
You don't see it because you don't have references. This is the way. So, you never know where it's come from. Because let me know, you don't have references. I share it.
References or dependencies?
Dependencies. Yes. So as you can see, when we create, in this case, my application, I didn't publish. Sorry, but when you create a new application.
Basically, the reason for that is when you can think of a template this way. You are basically cloning the module.
Yes.
Okay. And if you clone that module, you will be just using that new module. So you will not end up with dependencies to the original template.
Yes.
This is creating an app based on a template is basically cloning a faster way to clone a template.
Yes.
Yeah.
But let me say, from our side in our process, we have a way to know, because typically when we create a new theme to our clients to solve the needs, we create also the templates, and typically the template have the same name of the theme. Okay, in this case, B2C theme. So we know that these templates correspond to your app, because you create a new app based on the theme using a template. Okay, probably no, but we don't have a way to do if it's a correct template, if it's already changed. You don't have, because it's a clone, it's a separate, it's not.
Yeah. What you can do if you want to find the template is in a short sentence. Usually you will end up with one template for each theme. This is not entirely true, but you can have one template per theme. And if you go to the theme that you are using in your application, and you right click on the theme and look for all the references to that theme, probably one of those references is a template. And by that you can manage to figure out what was the original template used.
Yes.
This is not scientific, but it's a way to find the original template.
Let me say something. If you cannot know which template was used to create your applications, it's a good point, because it means that your application don't have dependencies of your templates. So it's the best way to do it. Don't have dependencies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, João, it's everything.
I guess that yes, it's everything.
Let me share with you. He obviously was this masterclass was a highlight, because to do a masterclass for templates, probably we need one day, probably. So we create an article in our website that explain our process in detail, how create an app template step by step with justifications. So for each element we have here detailed. So you can follow as a tutorial. Okay, you can follow as a tutorial, because it's all steps are detailed here. Okay, inclusively the quality assurance and the architecture dashboard. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. Thank you for your time. João, you can close.
Yeah, I can close.
Yeah,
thank you for your
Bye-bye,
time.
everybody.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
And
Thank you for your time.
see you. And this video will be available straight away. Okay,
Yes.
It will be available at our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, I advise you to do so, because we have plenty more content for you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We
We're
try
working on the future.
Yeah, our objective is something like one masterclass per month. Or something
Let
like
me
that.
only about the masterclass. The first masterclass will be more for platform, explain low code and this type of features. And after this, when we review the common features, we'll go in detail more for front end and explain what we do today. Okay.
Yeah, so if you subscribe, you will end up receiving the future notifications. Yes.
Yes. Bye, guys. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your attention. Bye bye.